So, this is what's going on. It is raining very, very hardly. You turn a corner, and you're like, okay, I can like dive through this almost like sewer entrance and make it through diving through this. And you go there, and you notice like with all the storms recently and the like rain coming down right now that it is completely flooded. You have a choice now, and that is, oh boy, that is 3 failures. You have the choice, either turn around, try to pass this aberrant being that is now chasing after you, this tentacle monster, or you can try to dive and swim through this area.
But I'm a cat.
You are a cat.
And I have this list, but I only have 2 wild shapes, man.
Yeah?
What do?
I think you also have some mutations. I don't know if any of those give you the ability to breathe underwater.
I think you have to do it when you wild shape. Don't you?
Sure.
When you are transformed by wild shape, you can... Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna use a bonus action and expend a spell slot of level 1.
Okay.
And gain Creature of the Sea. For 1 mutation point, you can breathe air and water and gain a swim speed of 30 feet.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do that.
I know I'm gonna ask you to narrate this because it says in this class, this is a class from the Grim Hollow Players book, for anyone who's wondering where we got this from. It says that you kind of have a grotesque transformation when you use a mutation. What does this look like when you gain the ability to breathe underwater as a cat?
So I'm a beautiful sheen black house cat.
Yep.
And I like turn around and look at this thing, and turn around and look at the water, and I turn around and look at this thing, and I do that like classic Halloween pose of the black cat in the moonlight, stand up and just like hiss at this thing with my back all highly arched in the air. And while I hiss, these just like kind of, I'm trying to think, it like the textures I'm thinking of are like House of a Thousand Corpses, merman. Yep. You know, these like disgusting gills just kind of like come out of my adorable cat flesh.
Okay.
And my eyes get this weird like gloss over them, so that I can keep them open while I swim underwater.
All right, yeah, that exactly happens. Do you jump right in?
Oh yeah, head first, diving in. I'm out of here.
All right, so we will say this is gonna be a skill check. I'm gonna give you advantage because you can breathe underwater and stuff. And I'm gonna drop the DC down to 10. I'm gonna tell you to refresh your roll 20, which we are using right now, before you roll, because that is wild that you rolled a 1, and then with advantage you rolled a 1 and a 2.
So tragic.
Maybe the gods of Odysseus just don't want you
my
to
confidence
succeed.
was through the roof before this.
These are some not great rolls.
Frick. Alright, what am I rolling?
I think trying to make your way through this water, I'll let you choose between perception or acrobatics. Seeing like because you are like getting pushed into this torrent of water that is like kind of like this, also full of debris and stuff.
Yeah. I'm gonna use perception since it's half the reason I have this gooey stuff over my eyes, so I could swim with my eyes open. I know how disgusting this place is. I got a 15, everybody.
Boom.
I'm doing it.
Yes. So you transform. You jump into this like the sewer system that is currently filled with water and debris, wood, metal. You slowly like make your way through, diving in and out, pushing off of things to make your way up, and you know that you make it a couple blocks. You've probably been in the sewer system a couple times as a cat, and you pop back out, and you know that you are very, very close to where you need to be. So we have one more roll in a skill check. Right now it is possible to get 2 successes, which you'll still make it there, but there's going to probably be something a little bit bad happening. Or you could just get 1 success, which is not going to end well. So, I will say, Okay, this is how I'm going to narrate this. You pop out of the sewer into an alleyway, and you walk to the main street. Down the street, you see the Linville Manor, the manor that Morrison told you to go. The best way I can describe the Linville Manor is it has this kind of like French Quarter New Orleans style building, kind of like Victorian. It has 2 floors. It is made out of wood that is kind of slowly decaying and rotting because it is from the old times, the times before the war. It has boarded up windows, and it kind of looks like your stereotypical haunted house. Like it has a gate around it, a fence, like with rusty spikes on top, just like that's the design. It has some of those really tall, slender windows with the frames. It has like a weather vane up top. You see this, and you see between you and this house, I don't want to say horde, because that seems really bad, but a small gathering of these creatures who are kinda looking for their next victim. It looks like they have either killed or changed everyone in this area of the island, and they are currently, like, some of them are crawling on their hands, like sniffing into the air. These beasts are searching for their next kill. And they're kind of between you and this manor. What are you gonna do?
So, since this is like a Victorian city, I imagine that they would have some kind of like street gutters that'd be like covered by grates.
Oh,
You know,
absolutely.
that the
Yeah,
water
absolutely.
would kind of run freely.
Yeah.
So my dream here is that I will find a hole in one of those,
Okay.
and I will use a mutation point to reduce my size and put me and the rats on an equal playing field.
Okay.
And then I will take the path of the rats, which I obviously know very well from chasing rats around the city,
Obviously.
and I'll just use like the gutter system on like it's not totally under the street, but it'd be covered by grates, you know.
Yeah.
And,
Okay. I like this. I like this a lot. Yeah, we'll say this definitely narratively and like in world that makes sense. So if you're going to use another mutation point, I'm going to give you advantage on this check.
Okay.
And I'm going to say you can either use investigation or stealth here. Investigation, trying to maybe use your inquisitive mind to figure out like if what pathways you can take through this, these grates to dodge around these creatures, and even maybe make it into the like property of the Linville Manor, or stealth if you want to kind of like take the most direct way there, and pass these creatures.
stealth is not my strong suit. It's why I
Okay.
choose cats as my avatar,
Fair
primarily,
enough.
because they're stealthier. So I'm gonna investigate my way to success, I hope.
Okay. Yeah. You got a 22. That is more than enough. I will let you describe what happens here. How do you use these grates to maybe, we'll say you get, with a 22, you get inside the manor. I will say, because you got 2 successes out of the skill challenge, you're not able to get inside the house itself, but you will be able to get into the grounds around the Linville Manor. So I will let you take that away.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just go out to the street, very, very cavalier. I'm a cat. Like, I've seen these things, not really
Cavalier.
care about cats. One of them was interested in me, and I was like, I feel like that was a little anomalous. And now I'm looking down the street, and I see these ones that are kind of looking around. I don't really care too much for them, but I do know where the manor is. So I'm just kind of like walking down the street, and then I'll see them get more interested in me, and I'll start to panic a little bit. But I still know where I have to go, so I'll start like kind of like speed moving my way towards the manor, kind of hiding a little bit here and there,
Yeah.
all the while searching these grates for my entrance, because Cyril likes to try to think a step ahead of where he is. So he knows already that he's gonna like shrink down and try to utilize the pipes, but he's just gonna try to get as far ahead as he can before that happens.
Perfect.
And as these things get very interested, they start coming after him, and like in the most clutch moment of a D&D campaign anyone's ever seen,
Yeah.
Cyril makes a mad dash for the opening in the grates, and as he's like jumping towards them full cat size, the tentacles are like going to grab him, and he mutates himself into a much smaller cat.
Hell yeah.
And like
Hell yeah.
slams into the side of this pipe working and makes his way up. It's disgusting. He's not having a good time.
No, not a good time at all.
He's doing what he needs to do. He's
yeah.
walking past the poos of the rich and knows that he's just walking closer to his goals.
Absolutely. So yeah, you do that. We have that very cinematic D&D moment. Tentacles coming through. You transform. You make your way through this filth of the city, and you get into the front yard of the Linville Manor. This 2-story house that looks like it probably like wasn't owned by like the richest people in the city back in the day, but probably someone from upper middle class in the city. Maybe someone who owned I'll probably even say like upper class, probably who owned like a factory or something, maybe worked on ships. And the first thing you notice is, I'm not even gonna make you roll for this because you're an inquisitive person, and it is very clear. You see that the front gate, which looked like for the longest time had been the front gate into the front yard, which probably had been like chained and locked to keep people from trespassing, that has been broken down along with the front door. All the other windows are currently boarded up.
Okay. So someone's looking for what I'm looking for, maybe? We're gonna go find
Possibly.
out. I am a cat the size of a fist.
Okay.
So I am just gonna stealthily, but like relying more on my senses than my sneakiness, if that makes sense. You know, it doesn't matter how loud I am if I know where everyone is.
Okay.
If
Yeah, I'm cool
that
with
makes
that.
sense. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just gonna try to follow in the footsteps of my predecessors, so to speak, whoever was here
Okay.
first.
Okay. So
Right.
with the, okay. If you were trying to like follow footprints, that's going to be an investigation check. But if you are trying to go into this house and try to like hear if there's any other creatures in here and try to move around them that way, that will be a perception check.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the perception check. I don't care to literally follow footprints. I'm just gonna try to scope it out and move.
Fair enough. So are you going through the front door?
If and only if it's applicable. Like if I get there and it's awful, no.
Okay. So I will say.
Yeah, that's my goal.
Okay, you slowly creep up to the front. You go through the veranda. I think that's what it's called. That's like what the porch is called, right? The veranda?
Dude, I live in
I don't know. It's a veranda. It's a veranda in this. In this world, it's a veranda. If it's not in this real world, it's in this world, it's a veranda. You look kind of behind you at the gate open, and you do see a very zombie-style film way like the horde slowly, like maybe like one of the like creatures like walks past the gate open and like looks not at you, but like looks at it, like turns the other way, and like they're interested in this. Probably not like for any reason other than like, oh, that's an area we haven't been. So it's kind of like a ticking time thing. Like
Sure.
there might be a horde coming or two, who knows? But we'll say you go to the veranda and you like take a peek inside the house, and this is going to be a time where I'm going to go against D&D ruling here.
No.
My Twitter's like, no, if they want you want to yell at me. Cats do not have dark vision in 5th edition.
Correct. So weird.
They do in my game. Because I think that is, obviously there's reasons for it. I was kidding, please don't yell at me. But I am going to say that like you've been a cat enough, you have dark vision. So, because it is very dark in here and you are a cat. You also have advantage on perception checks, so I would like you to make a perception check when you get here, and depending on what you roll, I will tell you what you get.
I rolled already.
What did you get?
23.
23 is very good. So you walk up to this door as you are in this horror setting, but you're a very tiny cat. Just very fun. And you begin to look into the house and you begin to smell. And you immediately realize that there are a couple creatures who have already made their way into this house. Specifically, you hear coming from a room on the first floor. If you go like directly back through the door past the staircase, it sounds like something is moving around there. Along with that, you hear something upstairs also crunching around. This house is very old. The seawater and has slowly made these planks and this wood very decrepit and like very dangerous too. You notice that you're and you're very thankful that you're a cat right now, because there's a good chance if you were a human I'd be like, make an acrobatics check, you're gonna fall through the floor.
Lucky day.
Lucky day. But you hear that there is something upstairs and there is something currently on the floor you are. What are you gonna do?
I don't really have a direct lead on where I should be headed here, correct?
Correct. And I will actually
here.
say with that perception check, as you're on the veranda, you do see that symbol, the triangle with the tentacles going up and the circle going out. You do see like carved into one of the pillars, like one of the, like the veranda, like the banister or whatever, the pole coming down, the wooden pole. Someone has taken a dagger and carved that into the wood. You get this an idea because you are an investigator. You probably hang out with like rogues and thieves and stuff, so you know a little bit of thieves' cant. This is cult cant, I guess.
Okay.
But this is definitely a symbol where it's like, hey, if you're a follower of the everlasting hunger, this is a place to go.
You're in the right place.
You're in the right. You found it. Well done.
Awesome. But it's on the stair banister, so it seems like going upstairs would be better.
It's in the veranda, so it's in the like porch. It's like outside of the house.
Okay. Well, I can't resist trying something silly.
Oh, hell yeah.
So
if you're
I'm
playing
gonna-
D&D, you gotta.
I'm gonna be silly and serious.
Okay, I love it.
I'm gonna start upstairs with the intentions of... So, Cyril has the intentions of seeking out his goals and finding more clues to further his investigation. In the back of Shane's head is, if the zombie thing encounters me, I want to try to make him fall through the floor while chasing a tiny cat.
Yes.
So,
I like
I'm
where
gonna
your
head
head is.
upstairs.
Okay, so yeah, you with that perception check, we're not gonna make you roll anything else. You slowly make your way up the stairs. You go through the door. You go through. I have the blueprint here, and it's called a receipt hall. I'm pretty sure this is in French. But
The recipe hall.
the recipe hall. The recipe hall. No, you go through like the coat room. You see on the left side, you see some coats hanging on the rack. They have mold growing them on them. Maybe even some like barnacles and stuff because it is so close to the coast. These have been hanging here for possibly hundreds of, like 100 years. So they have aged very, very much in the time, and like some of them have actually deteriorated to the point where you can barely tell that they're coats anymore. Along with that, over the coats, you see a portrait of 3 humans. You can make out that they're humans, but like the paint has also thinned and washed away and has become this almost amorphous, like abstract blob of a family portrait in which you see 3 people going on, and it seems like their faces have become warped in a way, and it seems like that's a little bit of age, but also seems like something strange and supernatural is going on here. The ground doesn't creak underneath you because you probably weigh like a pound. But yeah, you make your way through this like coat room and you go up the stairs, and as you go up the stairs, you find yourself in a hallway. And a hallway with 2 doors to your right, 2 doors to your left, and 1 door in front of you.
Okay. I'm looking for 2 things specifically: the occult cant symbol and the terrible monster.
Okay.
I guess I'm like looking and listening and smelling and hear. Okay, that's the same thing.
All right.
No. Trying to use many senses.
The great thing is you have a fantastic passive perception check. You have a passive perception of 14, and I can tell you that these creatures, at least the creatures up here, aren't trying to be stealthy. So you absolutely can hear them, and you hear this creature that's upstairs or whatever it is, humanoid. I can see you know definitely know it's a humanoid. It's definitely bipedal. You can hear it coming from the room to your left, like to your left and to the left again.
Okay. Any signs of the occult cant symbol?
For that, I will have you make an investigation check. That is a 5 plus 5, so that is a 10. You spot no such symbol, and you're not really sure if that's because of the deterioration. That's a hard word to say. On the second floor, if things are just in such disarray that, like, if there was a symbol, it was like destroyed. It's actually, I should describe how bad it is up here. Like, the roof has like parts where it's been caved in, and like the rain is coming through, and it's completely pitch black, other than your dark vision, which allows you to see in different shades of gray.
Okay.
But no, you don't see. And you're, like I said, you're not really sure if it's here and you're just missing it, or if it is just not up here.
All right. So we're gonna move towards the rooms to the left, where we hear the scary thing.
Okay.
Cyril's logic is they must be looking for something.
Yeah.
My logic is let's make this motherfucker fall through the floor.
Hell yeah. I like it. So as you move towards the room on the left, you make your way through. It's currently like creaked open a little bit. You're able to squeeze through it fine as a cat, not moving it. And what you immediately find in this room is the grand bedroom. So it has this very nice, what used to be a very nice bed. Currently there's a hole above the roof, and the water has pretty much like been dripping and has pretty much made this center of this bed like sink in, and it just completely deteriorated. It might have this is actually kind of funny. You like look at this bed, and it looks like maybe the bedposts, and there once was a chandelier above that has fallen. It looks like whoever bought this stuff maybe was told that it was gold, but now you can see over time that it has slowly deteriorated away, and it has revealed brass underneath. So,
God.
But in this room, like I said, bed, chandelier on the ground. You see some cupboards. You see another portrait that has kind of washed away, a mirror that is broken and so foggy due to the elements that you can't really see anything. But you do see one of those humanoids with the tentacles bursting from its chest. Sharp fangs. You see this like creature has evolved a little bit more. You're not sure if these things are evolving as time is going on, or if this is like maybe a bit stronger one of these creatures, but you can see that is currently walking around, and it's actually using its tentacles to feel different parts of this room to kind of get a feel for what's going on in here. And you, to your amusement, you also notice with the chandelier on the ground, it has crashed down. I didn't even realize how I set this up. This is gonna be good if you can pull it off. You see that the chandelier has fallen, has created a very unstable floor, and you can see holes in the floor. And when I designed this encounter, I didn't think that I would put both of these creatures in the same rooms, one above the other. You see a similar tentacle creature down in the kitchen, also kind of doing that thing with its tentacles, moving around, feeling stuff. And you can see that this floor is incredibly unstable.
So yeah, Cat Cyril just kind of looks down, and he looks up, and now he's starting to put the pieces together that Shane had already put together. So he purrs a little bit, licks his paw a little bit, and then he kind of moves to the left side of the room as sneakily and slyly as he can, and then he's gonna jump up onto anything that seems like it's not going to fall through the floor. If it's a dresser, if it's a bedpost, if it's the nightstand, whatever it is, I'm just going to spring up onto it in a way that if I can if I can goat this guy to come at me, he's got to walk across like as much of the floor as possible.
Okay, so we're gonna do, because this is something that is, first of all, I want to happen, but this is a game. I have to make you try for it. We're going to say this is going to be an investigation check to see if you can figure out in this room what is probably the most stable thing for you to land on, and also call it forward. We're going to say this is going to be a DC 12 investigation check. 12 and higher, you are able to kind of like really set this up how you want. If it gets lower than that, you might have to take a little bit more of a risky move to get this thing to come at you.
You got it. Do I have advantage?
You do not have advantage, my friend. So that is a 2 + 5, which is a 7. For those who don't know, he also got a nat 20, but he does not have advantage. So I will say you scan the room real quickly, and this is why, like, I'm not taking away that you're not investigative and very insightful. You actually are very so much, but I will say you got really unlucky here because the creature turns and sees you as you are scouting the room. So you have to make a quick reaction here because it is now coming at you. And I will say you have 2 choices. You can jump on the bed or you can jump on the chandelier. Both of them seem pretty risky. And you will be making an acrobatics check to see if you can land it on it in a way to not knock the entire thing through the floor.
Okay. I picked the bed.
All right.
It seems softer.
It is softer. It is probably a better thing to fall through the floor. Okay, so this is going to be an acrobatics check. As this thing is turns and begins charging at you. I'm going to say this is a DC 10 acrobatics check. You are a very tiny cat. This thing is not the most dexterous creature. So you are going to try to DC 10. Is there any things you want to do on this roll? Woo! Tell the people what you just got.
I got a nat 20 with cat stats. Let's
All right.
go.
Tell me exactly how this goes. You are now in control of this scene. What happens here?
So I'm trying to be sneaky, and as I go to jump on the nightstand, I see the thing running at me, and I'm like, oh shit. So I look at him, and I'm just like, meow, and he's already coming at me, but now he's like seriously coming at me. And when he does, I will like just kind of do that so annoying cat thing, like when you go to grab or pet your very lovable cat, and they're like, no, and they jump away really far.
And probably scratch you a little bit,
Yeah, jump onto the bed and just like boing, and like bounce off the bed since I'm such a tiny, cute little cat, and then land on like a nice, secure piece of the floor, and like it'll be. You know how, like, in movies, when the floor falls out, there's, like, the edge of the room is always somehow, like, perfectly secure, but the center of the room is falling out? Yeah, I just, like, land on the edge of the room, like, perfectly positioned, lick my paws, I look at this man one last time, falls down.
Falls completely through, crushes both of them. You know what, I have not rolled a single thing here, so I'm going to roll some damage right now.
Easy clap. Tell me cats can't take on zombies.
You got this. Okay, so I'm going to roll. So it's definitely 10 feet. So it's, I'm going to throw 2d6 here. 2d6 force damage. Or bludgeoning damage, I should say. Okay, so that's a 5. I will say, because you got an nat 20, this kitchen zombie obliterated. Gone. Actually, no, we're not calling them zombies, because this is, you know... It's the whole Walking Dead, the Zeds.
Yeah.
The aberrant creature in the kitchen, obliterated. The other one is still standing, though, and a little confused on what just happened to it.
Like, that's it. I was just sitting there purring, and I'm going to look around this room and see, now that do I feel confident that he was the only... bogey tango on this floor?
On this floor, you are very confident.
Okay, then I'm gonna take a look around this room specifically for symbols and anything that looks like
so you search around this room. I'll say you have some time now, so it's not too urgent. You look around this room, like I said, there is the bed has completely fallen through, and I'll say the chandelier has too. You see
everything's out of the way.
What?
You see on the dresser, it looks like someone long ago has pulled out the dressers and pulled out anything of importance. But you do notice, make an investigation check
Okay.
before I give you this information.
Okie dokie.
That
Finally.
is a 14 plus 5, a 19. Okay. You look around this room and you, like, notice that there's one thing out of place. And okay, how do I want to? Okay, this is how I'm gonna describe this. You see for the first time, you notice fresh blood on the dresser, and as you I'll say you probably move and look at it more. You notice that it seems like someone was here, and there is a candelabra on this dresser, and it looks like someone has recently taken a candle out of it. You're not sure why or what it means, but you do know that that is fresh blood, and someone has recently done this.
What's a candelabra?
It's a thing with a lot of it's like a candlestick, but it has like a lot of.
Oh, okay. And someone recently pulled a candle out of it,
Yeah.
as if to like light their path around here and look for something.
Possibly.
Okay. But they didn't find anything in this room, it seems. But someone did get hurt here. So perhaps at one of those, maybe that zombie guy hurt someone or became a zombie here. Am I putting the people? They're not zombies. Zergs.
These are all good questions.
Zergs. Okay. Was that squid face guy wearing clothes, like normal commoner clothes?
Yeah, yeah. I will say another. It looks like someone who worked at the one of the factories. Kind of like they were wearing work clothes.
Okay. And there's no other cadavers around here, at least not in this room.
No.
Okay. I think if there's nothing else for me to gain from here, I'm gonna check some of the other rooms.
Okay.
Upstairs.
I'm gonna have you make another investigation roll. This is gonna be for in every room here.
Wait. Never mind. Oh.
All right, so that is the third nat one of the night.
This is proof. I'm just saying, this is proof that I am the weight of the other groups that I play in.
It is wild how many nat ones you have rolled. I guess you've got 2 nat 20s and 3 nat 1s, so it's almost even here. Okay, so this is what's going to happen here, because that's a 6 altogether. We will say you spend your time investigating this second floor. It's not that you don't investigate this well. That's not really kind of the problem here. It is that you take a little bit too much time to really find nothing up here. And I say that you might have taken a little bit too much time here is you are on the second window and you look out and you do see that a horde of these creatures has slowly made its way into the front yard while you have been doing this.
Son of a bitch.
Meow. Meow. How long has Cyril been going through this night?
We'll say it's pretty it hasn't been a long night. We'll say you probably got to the fishmonger at 8 p.m. Took you about 30 minutes to get to the Linville Manor, and probably you've been here for 30 minutes, we'll say. So it's 9. It's literally been only an hour.
Okay, so I can still be a cat for another hour, so I think I'm going to stick this out since I have such few wild shapes that I can use.
Perfect.
How close are they to the manor?
They're getting close. They're some of them are in the front yard, but you do see some are slowly observing the veranda, the front porch, and are slowly making their way there.
Okay.
So you do feel like you need to start if you want to start investigating the bottom floors, you're gonna have to move pretty quick.
Yeah, is the guy that fell down into the kitchen still in the kitchen? Or did he walk away since I've been investigating?
We're gonna say he walked away. He moved.
Okay, then I think that's my ticket down. I'm just gonna go back into the room I started in and jump down onto the bed, nice and safe, and then explore as quickly as catly possible around this bottom floor. Hastily, but also stealthily. I don't want to encounter these guys, and if I have to encounter them, then I'm trying to exit in the way that is furthest away from all of them.
Okay, so we're gonna do two things here. First of all, I'm gonna have you make a stealth check. We're gonna say these things. Let me look at the monster manual. But yeah, make a stealth check for me. And what did you get?
A 13.
Okay. So you sneak around these things, and a 13 is good enough to buy yourself some time here. It's good enough to not immediately get attacked. You are just being stealthy enough that these creatures who don't seem that perceptive aren't going to see you or run into you. So the next thing I need you to do is make an investigation check.
Yes!
21. Nice. So 16 plus 5. Okay. So, you begin searching through the first floor of the Linville Manor. You go through the coat room again that is connected to the kitchen, and I'll say the kitchen didn't really have anything spectacular going on in it, because like even if there was rotten food here, it would have been completely gone. And it's pretty much in disarray, like I said. And there is now a bed in it, so you don't really find anything worth anything in there. And this is like Victorian kitchen. You make your way. Where's my map? You make your way through the dining room, which you see this very large, ornate room. It looked like it hosted dinner parties at one time. Again, everything is in disarray. The gold has become brass, or more like the gold paint has slipped off, creating brass. And you do notice something very strange in here. You see, first of all, another grand portrait of this family above the dining room table. You see, finally, for the first time, this portrait doesn't seem to have been weathered by the elements as much, seeing that like this room probably is the most stable. Like there isn't really any holes from the roof coming in or anything like that. You do see a family of 3 humans. You see a man, a woman, and a child. A young boy, I should say, who have become warped. Like it seems like the same thing going on with the picture in the coat room is going on with this painting. You see that their faces have been complete, like almost elongated, revealing a large open mouth for each of them, all with these very skinny needle-like teeth, and their eyes completely black and sunken in. And you get this feeling like there is something bad happening in this house that is warping the images of these people, and you're not really sure if this was something that happened while they were still living or something that has been happening ever since. But you do get this feeling that there is some darkness here. And to go along with that, you see the same symbol that you have, that you saw Dr. Morrison about, that you saw on the banister, is painted in dried blood on the center of this dining room table.
Oh, cool. Okay. Is there any like secret doors or anything? Does it seem like this blood like activated something? Is this like a ritual?
I will say maybe this is gonna be a very investigation heavy one shot, but I think we both knew that getting at this. Make another investigation check. Actually, make an Arcana check.
Perfect. I was just gonna say I'm also curious about anything like magic or chaos or blood rituals, anything at all. Woo! Natural 20, everybody. 25.
In chaos is all possibilities. You get nat ones and you get nat 20s.
Balance in all things.
Wow. Information dump time. So you begin looking at the blood, still in cat form. You get up to it. You probably even use some of your like scent to notice that like this blood is dried, but it's not been dried for a very long time. Probably only a day or two, a night or two. And using your Arcana, because that is what you've got on that 20 on this, you start looking around the room and you notice that it's not only the symbol. You also notice that there's like different forms of crystals and skulls also kind of hidden around this room. And you notice that like This is nat 20. You look at the painting, and like I was just saying, that whole spiel about you don't know if this thing was warped before or after from all this darkness. It seems like it was warped when this ritual happened within the last couple days, and has really brought this darkness here. And you can tell from this symbol, it probably took a lot of blood. So it was some type of ritual that would have taken a large amount of sacrifice, and is probably pretty powerful. Nat 20. I want to keep going. And I will say, and I'm going to have you tell me why you would know this, but you tell that this ritual wasn't anything that changed anything, and nothing that like left anything, like other than bringing darkness here, or making this a little bit dark. Like, it wasn't a ritual to like summon anything here or like change someone into a creature. This was a beacon. This was a symbol to call on something. Not, like I said, not to summon, like they didn't do this and something came, but it was like a magical beacon to call forces to. Why would Cyril know this type of magic? I'm going to ask you. Like, what has that, like, what is an event in his past that you've seen this type of ritual?
Through my 30 years away, I've investigated all kinds of things, occult things, spooky stuff, bumps in the night. This is something that I've seen primarily in books, and the only time I've seen it in person, it was clearly a failed type of situation. My investigative nature had led me to someone trying to do this, like, mid-sacrifice.
Okay.
And I was able to stop them with a well-placed headshot and save the sacrificee just in the nick of time.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, with that experience and your knowledge that you have from reading this, like I said, this was a beacon. This was pulling some type of dark force to this location, to Ravenroy. And it happened pretty recently. Did you do anything else in the dining room that you know all this information?
So some jerk sacrificed a bunch of people and brought this craziness upon the city in the last 2 days. That's what I've learned.
That is what you were putting together, yes.
Who's the jerks? The people in the family? In the picture?
That you're unsure of.
Okay. Where do I go from here? There's a horde coming? I guess
There's still a parlor on this floor.
I want to continue investigating
Okay.
as long as I can until I'm, like, overrun.
Yeah, so you head to the parlor, which is connected to the dining room. And as you go there, you see, again, another room in disarray, Victorian tables that have collapsed under their own weight, chairs that look to have been fashioned with like some type of embroidery that has failed, and a fireplace. And you notice on the fireplace is a very strange occult-like altar. You notice that there is an ornate gold bowl in the center, and 2 candle holders on each side. One candle has been lit recently, it is on one side. The other side does not have a candle in it. And you notice that there is fresh blood, and I mean fresh blood, in this bowl.
Oh. So... do I need to go get a candle? Like, do I complete the ritual?
Maybe.
Any, like, footprints? What was the result of this? Like, I see what happened. What happened because of it?
Making another investigation check. Investigation, we're gonna say DC 15. 12. You are not sure. You might need another candle. You don't really know the result of it, other than there was a result of it recently.
Oh, gosh. I should have taken a candle while I was up there. I don't know what to do. The horde's coming. Are they close?
We will say you hear one step into the building. As the ground creaks.
Is there any like books or text up here that would allude
Nope.
to anything? Okay.
Just a gold bowl, a candle that has recently been lit, and a place where a candle could go. And blood in
Okay.
the bowl.
Is there any candles in this room?
There is not.
Great. Okay. I'm gonna go upstairs and get a candle and come back, but I have to not be in wild shape to grab a fucking candle. Right? I don't think I can pick one up in my
Not as a
mouth.
tiny cat, you are not picking up a candle. No.
Right. I'll be like that dog with a stick in his mouth that like tries to go through doorways.
Yeah.
So,
So how are you going to do this?
okay. I'm gonna cat my way up the stairs,
Okay.
back to the room where the bed fell through. I'm going to unwild shape, I guess. Ugh.
Okay.
And I'm gonna grab the candle. Wait, do I have... Please stand by.
Yep.
I have a fucking Monster Hunters pack. It's possible that I had candles on me.
That would be a lot easier than if you do have that. Yeah, you probably should check. Yeah. I'll
I
look
have
that up.
torches.
Torches and a candle.
You're right.
I mean, you could try a torch.
A chest of crowbar, hammer. You wouldn't say it's going. Okay, well, I don't. So I guess things are about to get really spicy.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Oh, hold on. Looking at spells.
Yeah, do whatever you gotta do. I get it. This is a very tense moment. The horde is gathering. You're trying to figure out this whatever happened with this puzzle, this ritual. Whatever you got on you, go for it.
Okay. I'm gonna take the candle.
Yep.
Okay.
So
I
you.
go up the stairs as a tiny cat.
Yeah.
I get positioned perfectly against the wall so that I can't fall through the hole and I'm on steady ground.
Okay.
Okay. I unwild shape.
Yep.
Grab the candle.
Yeah.
I cast Pass Without Trace.
Okay. Which is going to lead straight into my. First of all, what does it look like when you cast that?
I grab the candle and I stand there and I grab this necklace that's around my neck and it's.
Yeah.
It was my sister's pendant from when I was a child, and I hold it very near and dear to my heart, so near and dear that it eventually graduated from being just my sister's pendant to my druidic focus.
Okay.
And I just sort of very heavily focus on myself, which is something Cyril never does. He's
Yeah.
always thinking about everybody else who's like really focused on himself. And this almost completely opaque, like gray fog will kind of like emanate from my skin a little bit. Like if you're not right next to me looking for it, you wouldn't even know it was there. But it's like very, very subtle magic effect, just kind of like emanating off of me. And then from there, I'm gonna try to move back to the candle.
All right. So
To the ritual thing.
because there is a horde in here.
Uh-huh.
How do I... Yeah, you know what, we're gonna do this. There's a horde in here now. You are now a person, no longer a tiny cat.
Uh-huh.
DC 20 stealth check. But with Pass Without Trace is a +10.
Okay.
Are you going to use a memory or anything to give yourself advantage?
Yes.
Okay,
And
what is the memory?
to lay out part of my plan. So, let's say I want to take the same route that I took as a cat, and I want to jump down onto the bed, but stealthily.
Okay. Yeah.
Would there be like a negative effect to that? Like, I was gonna like sit on the ground and try to like be as stealthily as possible.
I don't think so if you're rolling for stealth. No, I don't think so.
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Through my years of druid training out in the woods, I learned some things about animals and creatures and beasts and monsters and all kinds of things. And there are
Yeah.
some monsters that rely, or beasts, I should say, that rely on things like thermal vision, right? So you
Yeah,
would,
totally.
if you were fighting a giant snake, you would cover yourself in mud to hide yourself from its vision. So I'm thinking I'll like sneak down, kind of land on this bed, and quickly gather some of the guts from this corpse that
Gross, but okay, yeah.
I'm just gonna do the Walking Dead, like try to blend in as much as I can.
No, I get it. Yeah.
And hope that it works, because I've seen that they can't really see me, right? You said they rely mostly on touch.
They still can see, but they do, like, it seems like they have extra, like, senses through their tentacles, yes. So, but yes, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to utilize some of this corpse, even if I have to just, like, hold a tentacle and, like, fucking move it in front of my face or something. Whatever it takes to try to use this to shroud my identity from these things and move
Absolutely,
back.
for sure. Okay. Stealth check with advantage, still DC 20. Plus 10.
I rolled a 15. So I
Plus
got a
10 because of
25.
pass without trace.
Thank goodness for my spell
So at
choices.
25. So with this kind of, I'm just thinking of Predator, Arnold in the mud. You do that. You are able to make your way downstairs after covering yourself. Also, you have some really close moments of like moving through the hallway as these creatures, like the tentacles, like move around you. This very like horror film-esque. As you make your way through, you get so close to them, you can smell their like sea salted, rotting flesh, which is a really gross thing to say. But you make your way through back to the parlor, and you like probably guess as you're in the parlor, there's probably like 5 new creatures in this house.
Jesus Christ. New as in like I haven't seen them before, or like they've just made their way in?
They've just made their way in. Like there are, like the horde is slowly overtaking the Linville Manor.
I thought it was like more variations of horde monsters.
No.
Like, oh no.
There's a ghost there now. You see a banshee. There's a beholder in the corner.
So I've done a lot of occult work. I'm a researcher and investigator and amazing at my job.
Yeah.
Do I think that I can repeat this ritual if I do what I am clearly planning on doing here?
You know what? Yeah. This is like you. This is your bread and butter. I'm not gonna make you roll. You light the candle. We'll say you put it in the candlestick.
I snap my fingers and produce flame to light the candle.
Awesome. Hell yeah. Both candles, well, I guess the one candle lights, and you watch as the blood in the bowl begins to reverberate kind of from the inside out, making these sound waves. And as that happens, you hear this strange, almost like siren song coming from this bowl. And as it makes a sound, you begin to hear things move in this room, almost like mechanisms, like whatever just happened, this like magical blood ritual that like triggered the sound, triggered this mechanism, and as the mechanism opens, you watch as the fireplace slowly slides over, and you see going down this cobblestone, mossy cobblestone, very slippery stairs that have been used many times, making them almost slippery. This pathway down into what looks like caverns below, complete blackness.
Fuck.